What is up? I'm Miguel Antonio, and you are listening to the Live and Create podcast. It is typically where I interview artists and entrepreneurs about what it means to live a great life and create great things, but not today. There's no interview. It's just me. I'm the guest, and it's a very, very short one. I wanted to stop in and share a quick story. It's a story about probably one of the scariest days of my life. It was early on this past summer. My two youngest boys, 11 and 12, they're in the back seat of their grandmother's car, the grandmother's truck, and they're going about 55 down a back highway. And just a few minutes on the highway going 55, another car pulls out right in front of her and pulled out so quick she didn't even have time to brake, and she slams into this car, rolling the truck 3 times and landing upside down in the middle of the highway. And at the same time, I'm out of town. I'm playing a show about an hour away. And it was one of those rare moments where my wife actually got to go with me as well. And so it's a beautiful day where I'm at, and I'm starting to play the first few songs. My wife's in the first table drinking wine, watching. And then I remember her suddenly grabbing her phone and running off. She ran to the side of the venue's building that was right next to us. And as I sang a few more words, all I could hear was her screaming and crying. And so I put my guitar down and ran over to see what's going on, and she let me know that the boys had been in an accident. Meanwhile, back at the truck, the truck was upside down, and our 12-year-old managed to release himself and crawl out. And there's bystanders at that point. They had already pulled over, and they're coming in to see how they can help. And he just starts yelling, my brother, he's stuck in the back seat. And then JoJo was able to get out, but then Grandma was still stuck in the car. Found out that her hair was actually like pinning her into the truck, the way the roof had caved in on her. They managed to cut her out, and the ambulance comes. Of course, my wife and I jump in the car, and we get back to Kansas City so fast we actually meet them as they're pulling up to the emergency room. And what's crazy is they ran all the tests, all the x-rays. And after all of that, other than some concussions, other than some scrapes, some bruises, and then actually some glass that had been got embedded. And for the next month, they would find little pieces of glass still in them, which was kind of weird. Other than that, they were okay. And man, I tell you, being grateful was all we were. The next few days after that, I just kept thinking about what life would be like if they had not made it through that accident. I think it was the very next day, if not 2 days later, we're walking out of the gym and the boys are in front of me, and I kind of had this panic attack, and I started freaking out as if I had been in an alternate universe and they didn't make it through the accident and they weren't with me. And of course, once I calmed down and, came back to reality again, just so grateful, so grateful. The boys started researching on their own, like their type of accident, going that fast, rolling that many times, and found out that I think it was like 70% or more accidents like theirs ends in fatality. So yeah, needless to say, we were grateful. We were overjoyed and trying to soak up every minute. But then as the days and the weeks went by, they finally got cleared to go back to soccer. We started doing their games, they started doing shows, and life just happens, right? And after a while, it's like I wasn't thinking about it anymore. It wasn't having this like moment of celebration and gratitude. And then fast forward to right after Halloween ends. And that season there is actually when Christmas starts for us. We're that family, and we're super proud about it. And so as soon as Halloween ends, we get all the Christmas decorations, and our boys start decorating. They're kind of doing it on their own. Their other brother, he's 15, and he's old enough to kind of guide them. So I was just standing back watching them decorate the trees and try to organize the ornaments, all of this. And I had that panic attack all of a sudden because it freaked me out, where I remembered the accident and I remembered those moments, and I was looking at them and as if I was imagining there was only one boy decorating the tree, our oldest that lives in the house, Israel, and not 3 of them. And again, kind of panicky, but then looking at the moment and again falling into incredible gratitude. And then it struck me like, man, that was such a big moment. We almost lost them. And then within the midst of life, I had not taken the time to even celebrate that moment. And I think that happens for us, right? Life be lifing. We just keep rolling. And it's easy, I think, to forget about the beautiful things that we have around us. It's easy to forget to celebrate each other. It's easy to forget to celebrate all the good things in the midst of the harsh stuff that's happening, because life isn't all roses for me. There's, things that I'm trying to work out as well, and I'm sure you're the same. But I hope on this day, it's Thanksgiving when this drops. I hope on this day, for you and for me, we all just take the time to just sit back and really take in, really celebrate the people around us, really celebrate the moments that we have together, and just kind of let go of the stresses, let go of the hardships, let go of the life be life, and just slow down life just a little bit to find some gratitude, to find some thankfulness. I hope you guys have a great start of the holidays, and talk to you next week.